Tingachati kubudirira Mwari ariparutiwi pedura mbaimuchirwa. Cause my hitters don't die, and real hitters gon' shine, and my people gon' rise. Cause we're born to win, yeah. I ain't saying
But the hell do I not have the deal? I swear this thing is a real dog. I play fan off the cowards so they can't feel. The wife try to console me like it's coming, baby, chill. She don't understand. I'm the only one that's real. I remember the 3rd grade. Them kids, they had waves. I had them BDBs. You know that Zimbabwe grade. So they do shades. And your boy hit the stage, press play, and all the chicks was like, yeah. While boys was moving bricks, I was moving chips. If she gave me calculus, gave her a mouthful of it. Heat rose to this thing, boy, I bet on myself.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I want to welcome y'all to a magnificent Monday. I'm so excited. We got a great show for y'all today. We got Sarah Russell in the building. Hi. She plays Cinderella from Into the Woods. So I'm so excited that she's here to join us. We're going to kick the show off with her, and we're going to end the show with some amazing peeps over from Acts on Stage. Sam and Elias are in the building. So I'm so excited to talk to them about their work there at Acts on Stage, as well as an amazing program they have coming up for youth. I'm telling y'all, it's a lit show this Monday. But of course, it's the top of the show. And y'all are like, look, we got a new setup for y'all. I want to give a huge shout out to those who came in and kind of configured the studio so we can have it all the way nice and right for you all. But it's the top of the show. So of course, y'all can tag and share the stream right now. That's right. Participate in this with us. Go ahead and tag and share the stream with folks you feel could benefit from a daily dose of dopeness right here on the Day with Trae. If you can't watch us, don't worry. We got you covered because you can listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and the Day with Trae. Y'all will find me on Google, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Apple Music, whatever one is your favorite, like 200 something platforms. So please search for us on your favorite one and y'all will find me there. Because we have such a jam-packed show, I got to get right into it. I'm excited. Sarah Russell. What's up, Sarah?
Hi, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for coming down here. I know you have a busy schedule. We really appreciate you spending some time with us on the Day with Trae today.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me. I love watching the show. So when it was approached to me, I was like, count me in. I want to sit on the couch,
there you go.
Answer the question, have a conversation.
Well, this show is kind of, you play an iconic character. I mean, you almost can't ask anybody if they know who Cinderella is in the Disney world, right? Mm-hmm. And people know that character. I want to hear about your background that brought you into acting before we get into how you're playing this iconic role. Tell us more about your background.
Yeah, so I actually come from a theater family. My mom does theater. She's done theater my whole life. So I grew up going to shows, sitting in the audience, singing along. So I've never known life without theater. I always thought I was going to be a backstage person, a tech person. I was really shy when I was young. So I got scared to ask questions. I didn't want to talk to nobody, but I knew I could not do theater. So at first I did tech and stuff. And then I slowly was like, you know what, maybe I want to perform. But I did one show and I actually did Into the Woods in high school and I played the witch. So this is a show that's near and dear to me. So I've been performing professionally since 2011 now, but I've always done youth theater, grew up doing theater locally. I'm born and raised in Washington, from the South, from Des Moines, Kent area. So just been doing it and trying to do it. And now it's like, wow, here I am. I feel like I blinked and 20 years went by, like 10 years went by. But yeah.
Well, it's beautiful to hear this story and to know that you were able to do art where you grew up. I've said it on this platform many times. Folks are like, well, why haven't you moved to LA or, New York or like a larger market for media? And I'm like, the point for me is to be here in space to show Black creatives that we can make it right here. And I love hearing that you are one of those examples of that. When you think about this show in particular, I always say any play you're in, because I'm a theater kid myself. So I'm like right along with you. And when you say, look, this show is a little bit different than another show I've been in, so much of it is about your fellow cast members. How have you been able to connect with the others who are in Into the Woods with you?
Yeah, I'm so blessed that I'm actually working with a lot of people who I've known through the community. We're an all local cast, which you don't see very often. And it's been really great. And it's really nice to have a smaller cast because then you can also really connect and be with each other. So in rehearsals, we would all be together, like in the room, hanging out, laughing. Our director, Bill Berry, is very collaborative and loves community. So he's joking and kiki and haha with us. So it really feels like a strong family. And then you can really trust each other to make choices, to try. This is a very diverse cast, especially for this show. You don't usually see a lot of any people of color really in it. So to have so many and to be like, we want you authentically how you are, it's great. Because then I can say, I'm going to be myself and I can trust you to be yourself and I'm going to catch you no matter what you do. So it's been such a blessing.
Well, that's beautiful to hear. And especially when there's intentionality to bring diverse actors and actresses into the space and into, some iconic stories that oftentimes don't represent that level of diversity. When you think about the storyline of Into the Woods, just give us some snippets. What are we expecting when we come and see the show?
Yeah, so I love to call it like it's a mosh posh of journeys and stories and people that you've heard. So you have Cinderella, you have Jack of the Beanstalk, Little Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel, Prince Charming, all these characters that we know and love, but seen in a different light, seen in a way that is like as truly human, I like to say, and I like to think of. And what happens when you want something so badly and you'll do anything to get it? What are those consequences? Who do you leave behind? Who do you move forward with? And then what happens when you actually get what you want? Is it everything you hoped and wished for? Or are there holes? What happens when real life comes into play? So it's really fun to like see the characters you know and love, but also to be like, oh, like they're really human. They really have some real wants and desires and real consequences from those wants and desires. And then there are characters too that we maybe don't know. There's like the baker and the baker's wife who, but they kind of are the string through the whole story. So it's really fun to be like, here are new people and people you love, and just in this world we're shake it up, and do things.
Well, this is really interesting to me because I think now, and especially, we've actually seen some stories being stretched, right? We've been able to see different characters that we may have grew up with in different environments, right? In different ways. Like, television shows have been kind of showcasing it. We're seeing kind of this like darker stories kind of come to light where they're, the villain is the protagonist. So this is a time for this kind of story to flourish. When you think about you playing Cinderella and, again, an iconic character, a lot of young people saw themselves, a lot of young women in particular saw themselves in the character of Cinderella. How are you bringing your lived experience to the role?
Yeah, Cinderella in this production is very interestingly written because there's not a lot of like character to her. It's very much the ingenue of like, I wish and I want, and kind of things just happen to her and she reacts to them versus really going for what she wants. It doesn't really happen until Act 2. So my personal goal was, how do I make her likable? How do I give her a personality that people actually care about versus, oh, it's Cinderella, so we already know her story, so we're just kind of rooting for her because we're supposed to. It's like, oh, I want you to actually care about her wish and her wants and her journey. So I really try to just put myself into it. When we auditioned for it, Bill was like, I really want her to be quirky. So we kind of went with this far off version where she was very like, what? Like, oh, we were like, okay, we found the extreme. So where's the balance of that? So it was really fun to really bring myself into it. This is a role I wanted to play this role since I was like 13. Wow. So it's really a dream. I never thought I would be here, truly. And even when they offered it to me, I was like, is this a joke? And he was like, no, that'd be really mean if it was. And I was like, okay. So really just putting myself into it and the real true honesty of what I want. I'm a Libra, and I think Cinderella's a Libra as well, because she has to make a lot of decisions. It's really like, I don't know what the best decision is, so I'm just not going to choose. And I think there's something so relatable to that. We've all been in those situations. So yeah, I really want her to be relatable and for people to see her as a person and not just the iconic, where's the pumpkin and the glass slipper type thing.
Yeah. I can dig that. I'm really looking forward to coming and seeing this show. I just was saying the other day, sometimes when you know the story, you come into a show and you're like expecting some very specific things to kind of showcase themselves throughout the story being told. What I love is going into something and being like, I'm not really sure. So I don't want to read a bunch of reviews. I don't want to read a bunch of things before I come in, because I want to really come with a fresh, clear mind of, what am I gonna take from this, and how am I going to like experience the show? When you think about this being at Fifth Ave Theater, Fifth Avenue has been very much a great partner with us at Converge, and I think part of it has been their dedication to community, to bringing local talent in, diverse talent. How have you been able to experience that level of intentionality as you've been in this play?
Yeah, I mean, I've been working with the Fifth Avenue. This was my first professional bigger house gig, was through the Fifth Avenue in 2011. So I definitely have been working with them for a long time, but it was definitely something where I maybe would work once every like 3 or 4 years, because I wouldn't be called in unless it was like Rent or like the pop shows and like the belty shows, where they're like, to really say it, like, oh, like this is where people of color would exist, and you're like, that's not true, but sure, I'll do it. So to really have a season and to be seen for roles and shows like The Wiz, and to be able to be a part of that, and to see that it's like, oh, you're actually putting your money where your mouth is and saying like, we are going to invest in our community. We are going to hire more locally, because usually there would be tons of out-of-towners. And like, yes, we had out-of-towners for The Wiz, but a lot of us were local. So it's been really great to just have the chance to be seen for these roles. I mean, and I am a full-figured woman, you never see characters as an ingenue like me on stage. So even in that way of like, oh, you saw me and wanted me exactly the way I am, and you see other people and you're taking them exactly as they are. So you have people who usually would never be seen for these roles having the opportunity and getting the chance, and to show that there is room for everybody. There is a piece of the pie. Everyone is welcome. So it's been beautiful to see them really outreach and like go to areas that I feel like they haven't gone before, or really giving people the chance to come and be seen and be heard. It's really lovely.
Oh, you got me excited, Sarah. I will say that for sure. I'm so excited to come and see you in this show, as others are going to be looking for their ways to come and see you. Look right there. Let them know, where do they get the tickets to this show?
You can get tickets for, I was going to say The Wiz. That's not what I meant. You can get tickets for Into the Woods at fifthavenue.org. You can buy tickets online. They also have great discounts. So if you go to their Instagram page, which is also Fifth Avenue, if you look online, there's lots of ways to get discounts day of, beforehand, if that's something that you need. But it is welcome to everyone. Everyone can afford a ticket. If you need one, they're going to help you. fifthavenue.org. Come see Into the Woods.
There we go. So great to talk with you this morning. Thanks again for making time.
Thank you for having me. This has been a blast.
Absolutely. Ooh, we are already all the way in on our theater discussion, and I love it because it's a full-on Theater Monday, y'all. Up next, I get to sit down with Sam Townsend and Elias Bullock. They are here from one of the upcoming theaters that is just taking the community by storm, Acts on Stage. I love the work they're doing, and I'm so excited to dive in with them after this short break. Stay tuned, y'all. You're watching The Day with Trae.
What up, y'all? T-Dub here, as always, bringing you the news and art funding and opportunities. This year's For Culture Project grants are live now, and here's what you need to know to apply. For Culture Project grants fund cultural activities and projects throughout King County. If you are an individual or group with arts, heritage, or preservation at its core, then this funding is for you. And if you're new to the grant application process, For Culture hosts virtual workshops and has a team of grant managers ready to assist you in the process. The deadline to apply is March 23rd. Head over to forculture.org for more.
This winter, Seattle Opera presents the world premiere of 1,000 Splendid Suns. Based on the best-selling novel by Khaled Hosseini, this new opera tells the breathtaking story of two Afghan women brought together under the brutal Taliban rule. There has never been a more important time for this story to be on stage. Make this world premiere part of your plans today. Don't miss 1,000 Splendid Suns, February 25th through March 11th at McCall Hall. Details at seattleopera.org.
Ndoda kuti nyika isiwe vanhu vangu inguva yedu hatingatadzi kubudirira Mwari ari parutivi pedu rambai muchirwa 'Cause my hitters don't die and real hitters gon' shine and my people gon' rise 'cause we're born to win, yeah. I ain't saying
When the hell do I not have the deal? I swear this thing is a real dog. I play it fan off. The cowards they can't feel.
Oh, welcome back. Look, I'm just staring. I'm like, oh my gosh. That commercial took me by surprise. See, sometimes these guys don't even tell me what's going on. Welcome back, y'all, to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday, and I'm so excited because Acts on Stage is just doing phenomenal work. And so to be able to really showcase the amazing talent behind all of the end products that we get to experience in community, I'm just grateful that the Day with Trae gets to be a part of that. So I want to welcome Sam and Elias. What's up, brothers?
Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, great to be with y'all, both of y'all. So I'm going to start with you, Sam. I really want to hear about what got you into the role you're in, and then tell us what that role is.
Michelle Lane got me into this role. She's my best friend. Went to Nathan Hill High School together, and she was in the in crowd. I was the out crowd because I was a church kid. Church kid, did not know anything outside of choir rehearsal and Sunday school and things of that nature. And so growing up, being around people like Michelle, around people like Isaiah or Elias, they helped me explore my creative side. That went beyond the choir stand, it went beyond the pulpit. And maybe 7 years ago, I started Townsend School of Music and Arts, where I was able to start trying to train other upcoming singers and choir directors of that nature. And then just took a turn. It just wasn't what I was feeling. And so Michelle, a couple months ago, I guess, asked me to become the program director at Acts on Stage, develop this amazing program called Renaissance 20, where we're able to give other up and coming, we call them young artists, opportunities to explore their giftedness.
Oh my goodness. This is, we're going to get into it because you have no idea how excited I am about this program. Elias, same for you. You know, your background, I have seen you for years being involved in community events, just the arts in general. Tell us about your background and what your title and role is at Acts on Stage.
I am the piano instructor and I came into Acts on Stage as a board member initially when we started a few years ago. And this opportunity came up just recently, so we're excited about it.
Wow.
I grew up in church like Sam did, and always played. I was involved in music from a young age, and I'm just excited about being able to give back and bring up some up and coming young artists.
Yeah, this right here for me is everything, because when we are really pouring into our young people, we really see the benefit over time. For me, I'm excited because I saw Acts on Stage has been producing some amazing social media. Shout out to my girl Gabby in the building. It's been great to kind of just see these behind the scenes. You know, tell us what you love and why you're here, and to see people really be able to connect to you all as those who are making it happen at Acts on Stage. It's a really great way, I think, of bringing community in. Sam, what are some of the things you're really excited for? Tell us about Renaissance 20 and some of those top things of mind for you in terms of the excitement to launch this program.
You know, one of the main things that I'm excited about is being the person to develop this program, and being the person who's able to bring other young people in. When I was growing up, I was a little bit more forward because I had friends in the area. I had older people in the area who played the piano or knew this and that, and I could go to their house and they would share different things with me. And I don't see that so much now in the community. And I also don't see the type of young people who have the wherewithal to get out there and find and search, because we're so spread out. And so I'm excited about being the person who can bring all these different elements in, because I know people like Elias. I know people like Erica Walker, who's going to be teaching our music class. I know different artists. I've been exposed to, I can't dance, I don't have rhythm, but I played Cap Calloway at Langston Hughes, you know? And so I can help young people come out of their comfort zone, realize that there's more out there beyond their little circle. And so I'm excited about being that person, that conduit, that connection for them. Acts on Stage is offering this program, Renaissance 20. We're offering programs in vocal music, piano, as Elias will be teaching, and also drama and acting.
Yeah, when I saw this, your interview in particular, where you're talking about this program, I was like, oh, yes, because it's so necessary when we think about pouring into the next iteration of those who are going to be hitting the stage, like a Sarah Russell, right? For instance, and having something that's anchored in community to really reach out to the young people. I love that Acts on Stage is the steward of this. Elias, when you think about music and, you know, the ways that musicality plays such a key role in storytelling, what are some of the things you're excited for in terms of being the piano instructor for these young folks who may have never touched the keys, but, you know, through you and in this program, they're going to get some major experience in what it looks like to be the one on the keys, bringing music to life.
You know, one of the things that I run into a lot these days is are people of age, you know, 18 plus or 20 plus, that say, you know, I always wanted to play the piano. I always wanted to act. I always wanted to be in theater, but never really had the conduit or the outlet to do it. What I think this does is it gives them access. That's why the behind the scenes stuff is so cool, because it lets people kind of reach out and touch you and makes you a little bit more accessible. They say, oh, I can probably do this. And it gives them, you know, some encouragement or some courage. You know, we've done collectively, I think we've done a lot of stuff over the community. Sam was on the Grammys. I don't know if you guys know that. We have played for, directed, done music for a lot of, you know, national artists, done stuff all over the community, at the Benaroya, at the this and the that. But I don't think there's anything more important than pouring into our youth, because that's the next generation. That's the next. And I think that I feel like collectively we haven't done a real great job of that. I mean, if you look at some of the programs that are going away at schools, it's usually the arts programs, the singing programs, the dancing programs, and they may be able to catch it on an after-school program if those exist, but those are the things that get taken away first. And I think they're the most vital, because I think artists make the best humans.
I love it. And you know, I'm inclined to agree with you on that one. Well, I will say too that for me, the greatness about this is to create a motto now, like a mold, which, you know, needs to be all over Washington State, if you ask me. But I love that it's starting with Acts on Stage, because Michelle and Isaiah are so rooted, deeply rooted and connected to community. And a lot of times you have young folks who want to take this pathway, but it means that their parents are coming out of pocket for it, and also sending them to institutions with instructors who don't look like them. And for me, I dealt with that, right? You know, like I started at 9 years old and I ended up going to a place in Bellevue, you know what I mean, to learn how to be on camera, to learn all the things when it came to modeling and acting and all of that. I learned that in like a really white-led institution where I was the only Black kid in my cohort. And every time that I got to one class after another, I experienced that over and over again. So I just thought it was the norm. So I get really excited. And this is, hey, y'all don't even know how on time this is. Just last week, my 9-year-old son said to me, I want to act, Mom. I want to be in movies. I want to be on play, because he goes to plays with me. And he can sing. He started singing, and I said, "You're carrying a tune." So then I saw this, and I was like, "Oh my word!" This for me is what is so necessary for young folks like my son, who were just like me. When you think about the key takeaways that a young person can gain through this experience, I want to ask both of y'all to share your insight on some of those key takeaways that you know are going to be so impactful for young folks when they participate in Renaissance 20. I'll start with you.
When I was younger, I was very insecure, very introverted. And so one of the things that I'm excited about is providing spaces where they can develop their, like Elias said, develop their courage, their self-esteem. But one of the main things I'm really excited about is they're going to get something through this program that they won't get anywhere else in the entire world. And that's us. That's our heart and our passion, because anybody can teach you how to play the piano and how to read a script and how to sing a song. But we can teach you the heart of it and the passion of it and how to discover yours. We're not just pouring in education, we're pouring ourselves into them. I'm pouring 40 years of music ability into them, 40 years of passion into them. And you can't buy that anywhere.
So true.
I think one of the cool things is there's a lot of avenues that one can take when it goes into the creatives. But I think what we get to do is teach them and encourage them to bring out their self, their own personal story, their own personal experience, and input that with the arts and create something amazing.
Yeah. See, for me, this is the kind of discussion that just it adds to my joy in a way that's like insurmountable, because I realize, like, as we create the pathways for folks to dive into their creativity, bring themselves out, people don't realize as you learn about doing characterization, you're learning so much about yourself, right? Because as I was asking Sarah, how do you bring your lived experience into any role that you play? Oftentimes we already know you're going to play it different than somebody else is going to play it, no matter what's on the script. There's these nuances of body language, of emotionality that you bring to anything you're doing. And, seeing Tia's one woman show at Acts on Stage, I was so blown away, right? And I've known Tia since we were kids, and so to see her progress in this way, I'm like, whoa, Acts on Stage is doing something that no one else is doing, and providing a platform for the talent that we know exists here to thrive, to be seen, to be heard, to be felt. So I just want to thank both of y'all for taking the charge to say, we're going to bring my 40 years. I'm going to bring all my tons of years of experience, and I'm going to bring my passion and care for these young folks to this platform and to this place in particular. Of course, I got to give you time. You can look right there. Let folks know, how do they connect with Acts on Stage, and how do they apply and get their young folks into Renaissance 20?
Go to our website, actsonstage.com. You can add the www, but it's extra typing. actsonstage.com. Go to the Renaissance 20 tab, and the form to register is right there. It'll come directly to me. You'll get a thank you message from me, and I'll be contacting you directly to give you more information about how to get your kids enrolled.
Amazing. Oh, I'm so excited. I didn't even ask about the how you picking the kids. We'll have to see that y'all are going to pick some amazing folks. And I know it's probably going to be a jam-packed program, because there's a lot of young folks who are looking forward to this. I'm just grateful that the Day with Trae got to help explain this to the rest of the world and share what y'all are doing. Thank y'all both so much.
Thank you
guys.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I told you, it is a theater-filled day. We are talking about creativity all around. I get to wrap it all up right after this short break. Y'all stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae. What's up, everybody? Me and Besa, my girl, we had to pull up to Market Street Shoes once again, y'all.
And we do this every season. We have to get the new shoes, the new boots, and this time I even got a coat.
Yeah, no, you did walk in without a coat.
I'm
glad you found one. But their boots were on point.
Yes, the boots, the bags. I even grabbed a flannel.
Yeah, you did. And I was able to get some hats and everything. I was really impressed.
And I was impressed because, of course, I got those white boots that you guys see me wearing everywhere these days.
Yeah, no, I look at your white boots and I'm like, darn it, they only have one pair. Me and Basa wear the same size. Of course, every time we walk out with several bags in hand.
Several bags, and sometimes even a backpack, you guys. Make sure you check out Market Street Shoes.
Yeah, please check them out. Where they go, Basa?
2232 Northwest Market Street, Seattle, Washington.
This winter, Seattle Opera presents the world premiere of 1,000 Splendid Suns. Based on the best-selling novel by Khaled Hosseini, this new opera tells the breathtaking story of two Afghan women brought together under the brutal Taliban rule. There has never been a more important time for this story to be on stage. Make this world premiere part of your plans today. Don't miss 1,000 Splendid Suns, February 25th through March 11th at McCall Hall. Details at seattleopera.org.
Cause my hitters don't die, the real hitters gon' shine, and my people gon' rise. That's my point to it, yeah. I ain't saying
how the hell do I not have a deal? I swear this thing is a real dog. I play it fan off, the cowards that they can't feel.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. What a jam-packed. I'm just so filled on this magnificent Monday. You have no idea. The theater kid in me is jumping up and down to be able to connect with Sarah Russell playing Cinderella in Into the Woods. Make sure you all go to fifthavenue.org and get your tickets for that amazing show. And to also connect with Sam and Elias from Acts on Stage. I'm such a fan of Acts on Stage, and I understand that it is filling a void that is so necessary in our community when we talk about young people seeing professionals who look like them, who are bringing their experience back into the community and providing this amazing resource for young talent to grow and thrive. So I'm so looking forward to learning more as that program proceeds. I'm telling you, the young folks that are going to be able to tap in and get this amazing experience are going to be phenomenal when they hit the scene. So make sure if you have a young person who maybe they don't even know if they want to do it, but maybe this is exactly what they need because they got that energy, because you see them trying to do their own YouTube videos, because you're experiencing them, singing to themselves in the mirror. These are the young kids who need this kind of opportunity. So please go to their website, connect, make sure you apply, get these young folks enrolled in this phenomenal opportunity. Of course, for me, y'all know when I see people doing what they love, I'm all the way inspired. Of course, I want y'all to be inspired. The stories that they shared here in terms of why they do what they do, bringing their passion into their roles, whether it's on the job or on the stage. At the end of the day, we are experiencing a great explosion of creativity here that we can all tap into. And y'all can also just be inspired by it and find your way as they have to see yourself as a part of the solution. I'm so excited. I'm filled. You all are filled as well. For me, until tomorrow at 11 a.m., y'all. Peace.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.